Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. So the MLBPA has responded to Major League Baseball's proposal. Major League Baseball sent a proposal over, it was like Monday night, and late last night, the union replied to that proposal. And let's go over today exactly what they sent back. Will we have baseball soon or not? So we're going to look at a couple different people. We're going to look at Jeff Passan, because he's always like the first guy on this. My boy from ESPN. We're going to look at Joel Sherman also here in a second. So let's first get into what Jeff Passan tweeted out last night. He said the MLBPA is making a proposal to MLB for a season of around 89 games with a full prorated share of salary and expanded playoffs. Sources familiar with the situation told ESPN. It would bring the sides closer to a potential deal and is approximately 25 games under the last union offer. So I want to show what Joel Sherman tweeted out also, because this kind of talks about how the games have bounced around between MLB and MLBPA. So the MLBPA originally made a counter proposal, that was like counter proposal 4,672, of 114 games. It's now down to 89 games. The MLB started at 82 games and moved to 76 games a couple days ago, and continued to insist it will not play a regular season beyond September 27th. The union plan would stretch the regular season to the second week of October. Okay, so the first kind of difference here, major difference, is that this season proposed by the MLBPA is going to be longer than what the league wants. So the league wants the season done before October, and this is going to push it into October. So then Sherman tweets again. He said the MLBPA has stood strong that the players should receive full prorated salary, including in this proposal. Owners have indicated that that will only happen on a shorter season, 48 to 54 games, maybe a drop more. So I had also mentioned in my last video that I put up yesterday or 2 days ago, I don't know, they're all blending together at this point, but I had said that my feeling is the players and the players union are going to continue to stick on this full prorated salary and not move off of it, and they haven't moved off of it. Now obviously you're technically kind of moving, you're not moving off of it, but when you lower the games you're going to make less money. So they are giving in with regard to that. They're lowering the total number of games that they're saying that they'll play, but they're still, pretty far away from what Major League Baseball wants as far as games is concerned. Now, the MLBPA plan agreed with MLB call for 2 years of expanded playoffs. The season would be July 10th to October 11th, coinciding with the approximate end of the NBA postseason before MLB would begin its playoffs. The MLBPA proposal agreed to MLB's Monday plan that the playoffs could expand to as many as 8 teams per league, 16 overall. The MLBPA proposal calls for playoff pool to be paid to players in normal fashion based on gate revenues. If there are no paying fans or fans are limited, players pool would be $50 million, which matches what MLB offered Monday. MLBPA offer Tuesday didn't include removal of draft pick compensation tied to free agents who sign elsewhere in the 2020 to 2021 offseason. MLB had offered that as a perk Monday. Union doesn't see elimination of qualifying offer in this environment as a positive. So basically, the MLB threw that over, and the MLBPA swatted it down and said, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. We really aren't interested in that, but we appreciate it. And then the last couple things here before I talk about my opinion. Sherman also tweeted, question to a management person not directly involved in negotiations but briefed on them and influential. Did this union offer move the ball at all? Response, 0. We continue toward a commission-posed 50-ish game season with full prorated pay. And then John Heyman also put out a tweet that said initial reaction from ownership source following players' latest proposal, where nowhere. Now those responses from ownership sources, every time a proposal has been sent over, they've immediately come out and said, no, nothing, nowhere, not close. But they have continued to kind of try to figure things out a little bit, just a little bit. So I wouldn't get too discouraged and say, oh, we're not going to play baseball, we're only going to play a 50-game season, because they've always come out and said this. And so I think overall, looking at this, we're slowly getting the games to come closer to what MLB wants, right? The Players Union has slowly started to drop their number of games, and so we're getting close. We're still, I guess, kind of far away. We're still, what is it? It's 30, 35, 40 games away, so we're not exactly there, but we're slowly inching closer, but it's at like a snail's pace, and we need like much bigger, faster steps here, as I said, because we're getting close to running out of time, or at least we're getting close to running out of time to where the commissioner is going to say, okay, 50-game season. And as I've said before, I mean, I want as many games as possible. I know we're not going to get, at best case scenario right now, we probably get half a season. I would rather half a season than only 40 or 50 games. And so we need to go quicker, faster, like hurry up. And so my thought right now is that I think we're going to end up right around half a season. I think it's going to be a little bit less than half a season, but it's going to be close. The Players Union, right, we're at 89 right now. They're slowly starting to come down. The MLB wants something more around 50, right? And so we're like 30, 35, 40-ish games off, somewhere in there. And we need to continue to bridge that gap. I don't think it's going to be a half a season. I think we're going to probably end up somewhere in like the 70s is where I think hopefully they can both decide is a good number. And with everything that's happened and just kind of a crazy year, I can live with 70-something games. I think that would be fine. And so one more thing I want to add real quick. I want your opinion on this. What are your thoughts if we didn't know about these negotiations that were going on, right? And so we've been privy to a lot of detail through social media, right? Mostly Twitter, where we're getting like all these little details and we're hearing about all these things behind the scenes, and we're able to see players and their reaction, and we're able to hear about owners and their reactions, which is obviously in today's world with social media, we wouldn't have had this opportunity 10, 15 years ago. If this was happening at that point, we wouldn't be privy to any of this information, really. And so what would happen if we didn't have social media? We didn't hear about the insides of the negotiations. And all of a sudden, let's say in another week to 10 days, we hadn't heard about counterproposal after counterproposal after counterproposal after counterproposal. We hadn't heard about any of the money talk and any of this stuff. And we had just woken up in about a week to 10 days with the headlines. We woke up and turned on the TV and ESPN popped up and it said, baseball is back. 2020 season to start July 10th. MLB and the Players Union agree to terms on a new season. If that was all we kind of knew, would people be as upset? Because I'm getting I go on Twitter a lot and I have a ton of comments, obviously. And the outrage from fans, there's a lot of fans that are saying, I'm not going to watch baseball. I'm over it. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of these players or these owners or both of them. And I've just had it. I don't even want to watch baseball. Would the same thing have happened if we didn't know what was going on behind closed doors? If we didn't know what they were actually negotiating about? If everything was just dark and then all of a sudden we just heard they're negotiating, and then yeah, it was a long negotiation, took a couple of months, but then all of a sudden we hear baseball's back. Would people be more likely to just jump right back in and say, let's go, we got baseball on, versus now, which is not everyone, but there's a lot of people out there saying, well, I don't even care anymore, right? I think most people have been upset about the money talk, right? And in any negotiation, especially in a billion-dollar industry like baseball, unfortunately, everything revolves around money. Every negotiation, every collective bargaining negotiation that has gone on for years and years and years has all centered around essentially the players trying to get as much money as they can and the owners trying to get as much money as they can. And then they've got to figure out, okay, how do we kind of make this where both sides are happy with the money they're receiving? That's always been the case forever when it comes to professional baseball. And it's the same thing that's kind of happening now, but us seeing both sides talking about money, us actually being able to see what the money is here and what the money is here, and now this counter proposal versus that counter proposal, and hear players talking about money and hear owners talking about money, kind of makes everyone think that, see, the game's only about money. That's all the game is about. That's all the players care about. That's all the owners care about. Money has always been a huge factor, but people have always watched, I mean, lots and lots of people have still watched baseball for all these years. They were watching a lot of baseball last year. Baseball brought in, what, over $10 billion. So, and then I think obviously all of this money talk that we're able to see through social media, combined with the fact that we're in a really unique time right now where lots and lots of people around the world have lost or are losing their jobs and struggling to make money, I think that obviously adds to some of the anger from fans overall. So I don't know, just kind of spitballing here, but again, we should hear more over the next couple days. I'm sure we're going to hear the owners come out and Major League Baseball say that they are rejecting this, and then we're going to have to wait again for another proposal, and then we'll see where we go from there. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share with all your friends, all that good stuff. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel, and we'll talk to you later.